So I know you guys work a lot with couples and intimacy. Do you have any sex advice for couples?
I love that. Sex advice for a couple.
Good question.
It's a broad spectrum.
Well, if we're going to talk about a broad spectrum, I would have to say in our 20 years of working with couples and relationships, we don't like to categorize men a certain way, women a certain way. But there is one particular difference that comes up a lot, and it can help to know this. And this is a generalization, but it's not uncommon that women need to first have an emotional and maybe even a spiritual connection to allow them to move into a joyful, loving sexual place. And frequently men need it the other way around. They need the physical connection and sometimes sexual connection to allow them to more easily slide into an emotional or spiritual connection. And just the awareness that there is this difference can help sometimes, because men and women aren't always matched up in how they approach sexual things.
And the bottom line is that both men and women, well, everybody really, is looking for connection and intimacy in the widest sense of the word. So I always worry when I hear about couples, for example, who maybe are having sex. In other words, they're doing sex. You know, they're having sex. Let's go upstairs and have sex. But they're not communicating, and they're not, you can see there isn't a bond between them. And, you know, I love this thing that I think sometimes, that sex can't be out in the cold. Sex is actually a very vulnerable thing. It's a very intimate, vulnerable thing, and shouldn't be out in the cold as something you do. It's something that needs to be brought into the relationship in a loving way. And so it needs to grow out of the loving connection that the couple have on a physical level, so that touch is part of their lives, on an emotional level, so that their hearts are open to one another. And then sex belongs, you know, it follows from that beautiful bonding connection that the couple have. It's not then all by itself out in the cold, if that makes sense.
And you may have heard this before, and this is not a specific sexual technique, but it is worthwhile remembering that communication is perhaps one of the most important parts of sex.
And
I'm gonna let you say it.
Lubrication. Communication is the best lubrication.
Yes. So remember to actually talk with your partner about what's going on, and be a choice, and understand that you can say no, and that things can be different day to day. So, you know, really communicate.